Welcome back to Omni Garage. So for those of you who watch the channel quite regularly, you'll know that Glenn and I have got a pretty large range of Ryobi tools, which is our personal collection, and we've pretty much made a video on nearly every single tool that we own.
Today's a little bit different. Today's the first video where Ryobi have reached out to us and partnered with us by sending us one of their new 18-volt tools. So this is the power scrubber. And we're really thankful to Ryobi for reaching out because we're really passionate about the tools, as you've seen from the previous videos we created, and we're really excited to try this out, see if there's a way that we can implement this into our process when it relates to the garage or looking after our cars. So what we're going to do, we'll unbox this, and just in our true Omni Garage fashion, we'll walk through the pros and cons of the tool and bring you guys along the journey.
So let's get stuck into making our first ever video partnered with Ryobi. The key thing to note here before you actually rip in and get in to use this tool is that you get a standard 4-year warranty with this tool. Now if you register it online, which I highly recommend you do, you get up to 6 years with that. And that also sort of creates a bit of a timestamp for when you purchase the product and when your warranty starts. So I've been caught out a couple of times where I've had tools, I haven't done the online registration and the tool's kind of expired over that time. So you get a little bit lost on how long you've had the tool, and so it's very important to make sure you timestamp your warranty on here. So make sure you do that. Damn.
Unboxed.
Unboxed.
So here's the tool itself. It's essentially in the form of a drill, except you do have a bulkier cage at the bottom to store your battery. So the way that this works is you do have the attachment on the end here where you can attach the brush. You get this medium bristle brush with the tool, and you can purchase soft and hard bristle brushes separately from Ryobi. So the way that that connects is you just line it up here, it locks on the tool, and then you've got one speed. So you have a trigger on here, it is not variable, it's just a push button, and that when the battery is in the tool will turn it on. There is no variability to that speed. This spins at 210 revolutions per minute. The caging on the bottom of the tool here allows the battery to stay protected from water. Now this tool is rated to be submersed at water of up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. So you can get this tool really wet without needing to worry about damaging any of the components, in particular the battery. Clips off there, and then we can attach the battery, close the latch, and we're all protected there. And then we can turn the tool on. So on off trigger, locks on that speed, 210 revolutions per minute. When you're ready to take the brush off to either interchange it for a different style, the soft or the hard, or you just want to clean it, all you need to do is hold the top of the tool here, counterclockwise, pull it off, and you're good to go. Now on the box, Ryobi rate this tool when paired with a 4 amp hour battery to have 120 minutes of runtime. Because we paired this with a 5 amp hour, we've done the quick math, 1 amp hour effectively equals 30 minutes of runtime, so we should expect about 150 minutes runtime on a 5 amp hour battery.
So where Omni Garage is going to use this tool the most is cleaning and detailing floor mats and also in car upholstery. Now in the detailing world, a lot of detailers will use a typical type drill and they will put on a scrubber attachment and they will use that to agitate floor mats, agitate that chemical to give them a deep clean. We're really excited to try this tool out because this is a dedicated 18-volt power scrubber, which means we don't have to try and find a dual attachments to come on here. It's all in one unit, and it's also waterproof, so that if we do have chemicals and water getting into the tool, we know we're safe with this. So we're going to do a dry application on this floor mat here. We're going to agitate the floor mat and then suck it out using the vacuum, and then we will use some chemicals and show you an alternative method. So you can see here that as I start to agitate this mat, you can see all that sand and stuff and dirt flick up from the fibers of the mat. Now you do have to use quite a lot of force on the tool, otherwise it will start to spin the mat. So just be a little bit careful with that. And as I basically lift that dirt and sand up from the fibers in the carpet here, brings it to the surface, it's now ready for me to then get the vacuum and suck off the surface of the dirt. So alternative method to cleaning car mats and upholstery, and if you wanted to do a real nice deep clean, is to spray these mats. Well, here I've given them a quick vacuum, but you want to spray these mats down with your favourite interior cleaner.
So the product we're using today is by Koch Chemi, and it's MZR. We've used this in the past on carpets, but we've used it with steamers and extractors. We've never used it in this fashion.
So soak your carpet down, and we're going to get this product to soak in here, and then we're going to agitate it with the brush. That's all fine and well, but we also need to be able to get this product out of the carpet. So we're going to use a carpet extractor, but you could then spritz this down with water and use multiple towels to try and wipe it up and pull that product out. But we're going to agitate it with the Ryobi power scrubber. And this is essentially just agitating that product into the mat. And now what we want to do is we want to pull that product out using our carpet extractor.
So we've got a carpet extractor. Now we're removing all of that embedded dirt that we agitated from the surface. So versus the dry process, I think this is where this tool would actually come in quite handy. Previously, when we've been shampooing a mat like this, we'd bring out the Bissell vac. What we would do is we'd use the head on here and we would scrub manually back and forward to make sure that we could agitate the product into the mats that we were trying to clean. I think where this tool has made that a bit easier is we haven't had to do that scrubbing fashion, which in turn makes it a bit quicker. Now, bristles on this, I don't know. I mean, these ones are much stiffer on here, and I think that you do probably want something stiffer in order to get into the fibers of the carpet, but then you do have that balance where you want to make sure that you're not damaging the surfaces that you're working on. I think this certainly has cut our time down on something like this. I definitely go to this again when we're using it for wet shampoos. Now, where I think that you want to use this product is on things like mats that you can take outside of the car. So if we were to open the door here and if we were to work on this car, it's absolutely immaculate in there. I think there's a couple of things we would want to really take note of and take care of. First thing is, when using it on cloth seats, I think we'd want to make sure that the brush that we were using wasn't too strong. So I wonder if the medium bristle for a seat like this may be a bit too strong. That's where there's the benefit of being able to buy a soft bristle brush or something like that. But I think the other thing you've got to keep in mind when using this on interiors of vehicles is you've got the 15cm width on here. So look, it would work all right if we were working in an area like this, but if we're starting to work in some tighter areas, looking around this area here, if we're trying to work behind or under the seat area, we've probably got too big a head on there and we are going to still need to use a bit of a manual process. So where I think this is going to make things really easy is when you can pull a carpet out of the car, work outside, and then you don't have that limitation of the head size on the tool. So there's a lot of other use cases around the home that I think you could adapt this tool to, and I think probably number one in those is somewhere where you need to manually scrub. And one of those places where I absolutely hate to do this is something like a shower, in particular the glass. Normally you'd be standing there, you'd be scrubbing in order to try and remove stuff off the surface. This tool is going to make that a whole lot less onerous in order to do. So spray the surface down. And then it's simply just turning the trigger on and standing there. And this is somewhere where you'd be standing there and you'd need to just manually scrub. You end up absolutely exhausted. And very similar, if you were using this on external glass, external surfaces, I can think there's a lot of different application processes where you'd normally be using a lot of energy and a lot of effort in order to scrub, where this makes it effortless. All you're essentially doing is moving your arm around. But I think it goes back to what Glenn said earlier in the video. Because this tool only weighs a kilo by itself, you probably don't want to add a huge amount more weight with the battery that you're using. So I think if you could team this up with a smaller battery, it makes this even easier. Right now we're using it with a 5 amp hour battery, and you probably could go and do this for a long time, but you know, if we could half that battery weight, make this even easier. And for something like that, nice and easy, spray it off. And to be honest, you probably save yourself 10 to 15 minutes of manual scrubbing by using a tool like the Ryobi Power Scrubber. So that's a quick look at some of the ways that we would use this tool, and I think the number one reason I bring this tool out of the cabinet is in order to clean things like carpets in particular when using it with an extractor and shampoo, and I really like the interchangeable heads on the tool.
Well, that's really key for Ryobi to make sure that you can buy additional heads, because I think what will happen over time is those bristles will become quite flattened.
Yep.
They'll get dirt build up inside those bristles, so it's good to be able to go and buy additional heads, and they do come in different strengths, so there's a strong, medium and a weak version, so that's really good.
Yeah, I think that this tool here is something that that I think is really good. We'll put this in our cabinet, we'll pull this out when we're doing things like carpets. I think when we're thinking about some of the things that we'd like to see on this tool, you've got the 1-speed lock-on trigger here, spinning at 210 revolutions per minute. We'd love to see variable trigger multi-speed, right?
Yes, I think it needs to have a slow setting and a faster setting, so that when you are wanting a little bit extra scrubbing power, things like mats and stuff like that, you can ramp it up, and I think this tool definitely needs that, so that maybe that's another iteration that Ryobi does on this tool.
Yeah, I do like the fact that when you do turn the trigger on, you can let your hand off it, so you're not having to manually hold it. It's a bit like those Dyson vacuums, you know, where you have to hold it all the time, and you might be doing 10 minutes of vacuuming. It's the same thing for this. You might be doing 10 minutes of scrubbing. It's nice to not have to keep your finger up.
Yeah, it can get quite sore on your thumb, right?
Because you can hold it like this if you want to. You don't have to try and hold it in a real awkward fashion. So I think Ryobi nailed it with that piece there.
Yep, so this is a tool that Omni Garage is definitely going to use. We're going to be using it mainly in our carpet cleaning and upholstery cleaning. And for other people who are wanting to buy this tool, this is a tool that would replace your manual scrubbing. So if you were going to clean things like shower glass, tiles, your ceramic bench tops, and areas like that around the house, anywhere where you're scrubbing for a long period of time, buy this tool, because I think it will absolutely help you out in and around the home.
So huge thanks again to Ryobi for sending us this product to test out today. We're going to be adding this to the collection, and we do have a huge collection of Ryobi tools where we've pretty much covered all of those on the channel, so make sure you check out the Ryobi tools playlist.
So if you're interested in any more content from Omni Garage, subscribe to the channel so you get notified when more content's coming out. But that's it from us today. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.
See you in the next one.